Hello, it's time for a coffee fireside chat. I'm going to talk about, oh boy, motivating my kids and being an inspiration as a dad and leading by example. Stay tuned. It's an awesome story. Welcome back to Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. I'm your host, Jerry Hansen. I'm right here by my fireplace. It's icy outside. It's like 20 degrees. And I've got my black martini, straight up, no chaser. Simple black coffee, caffeinated, no cream, no sugar. Anyway, I wanted to share with you guys, 10 years ago, I graduated college with a degree. That's right. At my age, I went back to college and graduated. Now, interestingly enough, when I graduated high school, I had this graduation gown that, my parents purchased for me. And the type of person I am is I don't like wasting things. I don't know what you guys do with your graduation gowns, but I neatly and carefully folded mine up, put it back in its packaging that it came in, and stuffed it away into my foot locker or my sea chest, whatever you want to call it. And there it sat for years. Yeah, years. And then I became a dad. My kids grew. We got them in school, but we decided to homeschool our kids. Our homeschool that we chose as they got into high school levels, we chose American School, which is a correspondence high school, and it's the school that the Osmond brothers went to, Andre Agassi, the tennis great, and even Chief Justice Sandra Day O'Connor was a graduate of that school. So my kids went to that school, and when it came time to get their diploma, we had a little bit of a graduation ceremony for my son. And again, I pulled out my graduation gown from high school, and here he is wearing my graduation gown. Yeah, it's funny how I'm frugal, okay? That's the epitome of being frugal. I just hate wasting things. But I don't like accumulating a bunch of stuff. But that is a keepsake. I don't know what you guys do with yours, but I just kept mine. And so once the kids all finished school, I wanted them to go on to college. And it was really tough to get them motivated once they got done with school to go on to college. And so I was sitting there, it's like, I didn't know what to do about it to get them to go. So I decided, why don't I go to college? I'm in the medical field, and I thought, how about if I advanced my career? I've already taken phlebotomy, cardiac rhythms, and a CNA, so I'm working in the hospital as a certified nurse's aide and saving lives. So it meant a lot to me to be able to give to my community in that respect. So I went ahead and decided I'm going to go back to college. But first, I went to Barnes & Noble, and I got 2 books. I've always been weak in math. My math teachers who are watching this episode, they will attest to that fact. I was a horrible math student. I barely graduated high school because of my math scores. I just got through by the skin of my teeth with general math. So here I am, wanting to pursue a nursing career, and I knew it entailed taking a higher form of math. So I had to really buckle down and figure out what I'm going to do. So to save myself money for college courses, when I get ready to take the college entrance exam, I had to go down to Barnes & Noble. I picked up 2 books. books. One book is a refresher book on arithmetic. I just had to refresh my mind because I'm in my 50s now, and at that point, so I had to refresh my memory, and and go get the arithmetic book, kind of refresh my memory on subtraction, multiplicate. Oh boy, I need another swig of coffee. No, seriously, it's just coffee. Multiplication. There, I lubricated my tongue. Anyway, I took the multiplication review, subtraction, division, addition, and then I got another book on introduction to algebra. I've never taken algebra before. It was always confusing and difficult for me. So what I did is I sat down and I went through both books. And I got confident enough with myself to know what algebra was, at least introduction to algebra. So what I did when I went in and signed up for the entrance exam to college, I got to the math part and I scored higher in math. I scored right into Math 65, which was excellent because it saved me a lot of money in the long run. The frugal farmer I am, I just didn't want to spend all that money on other lower maths. So if I could boost my math intelligence beforehand, it would save me a huge amount. It would save me a huge amount of money. So I tested into Math 65 and got into college and started my college career. I took microbiology, anatomy and physiology, 1, 2, and 3 on both courses. I took probability and statistics, and it wasn't until I took probability and statistics and those other 2 courses is I needed 4 courses to round out my term. So I decided to look for a course, the 4th course, to kind of make it simpler for me because I had 3 heavy classes already. I signed up for watercolor. It is in the self-improvement section for the nursing program. So I took watercolor. Lo and behold, a whole nother talent and skill developed and blossomed out of that from college. So it was interesting to see what lied dormant within me. I didn't know. And you never know what's in you until you actually step out and try it. So I went through and finally graduated, and it was about, well, I actually, let's back up. So once I got into college, my first 2 terms, it finally motivated the kids. Both Jamie and Jeremy decided, if Dad can do it, maybe I can do it. So I entered college. They entered college in right behind me. And what was a hoot was we entered tests. We not all 3 took classes together, but we were all 3 in the same college, and there would be times where we'd have co-classes, and we'd bump into each other on the campuses once in a while. So it was kind of interesting. It was unusual, but I've got to tell you guys, getting through college for me, being in my 50s, was really difficult. I mean, really difficult. You see, I have a photographic memory, and I do really good for the most part, but now I'm in my 50s, and at my age, with that photographic memory, going back to college, I discovered I'm completely out of film. And it was really tough competing with those that younger generation that was in college with. That was tough. It was really tough. But I made it through. I graduated, and I got to wear the same graduation gown I wore at my senior graduation graduating from high school. It was a better quality of material back then than the material that everybody else graduating with me in college were wearing. In fact, some of them mentioned they were kind of jealous of the material. Even the professors, they noticed the gown. It was black, as you can see here in the video. It matched. So I got to graduate with the cords, the red, white, and blue cords for being a veteran. I got my tassel. I got my degree, and I motivated my kids to go to college. So it was fun. It was challenging, but wow, what an experience. And how neat to be a dad and to have that much of an influence on your kids. It didn't stop there. My daughter, she married and had a couple kids, and my granddaughter just recently graduated high school. And no, she did not wear my graduation gown. That was her own graduation gown that she had. But she went on to university, and she's in university right now studying to be a doctor. Veterinary medicine is what she's doing. And what really warms my heart is I also had an influence on her. I had no idea. So it came to a point where she was going to apply for a scholarship. So they had to write an essay and apply for the scholarship. And one of the paragraphs in the essay, it just really warms my heart. And it says, "Childhood felt like a fever dream in my mind. My mother and I moved to the homestead with our extended family, and they owned many animals. It was my first experience with rural living, but I learned many valuable lessons along the way. My grandfather taught me how to raise animals, which would later turn to food. Collecting eggs, honey, milk from the goats turned into chores that brought me closer to my grandfather." Okay. All right. That really touches me. Living with him sparked my interest in the field of veterinary science. From the curiosity of what remained on the inside of those animals, I wanted to know what drove them to perform their instinctual rituals and how their bodies differed from humans' body. I questioned why humans had the capability of speech, whereas other animals could not obtain this skill. The inner workings of healing animals from their injuries particularly piqued my interest, as I wished I could fix things before it was too late. I had a goat break a leg, and so I had to use my skills that I learned in college and working in the medical field to mend that leg, and it was successful. And she just had babies, 3 babies. She had triplets. So the farm still goes on. My granddaughter's in college. She's at university. She got the top scholarship, and because I did not realize how much of an influence I was on my kids and my grandkids. I'm speechless. I really am. So, really, being a parent or a grandparent, just living life is an education for those around you, because those eyes are on you. No matter how old you are, those eyes are on you. I am just so touched. And it's interesting to think that something I hung on to took a journey through the years and ended up manifesting itself even recently. So I got an associate's degree in science, general studies. I've also got other degrees. I won't talk to you about those now, but I'm retired now. But I guess I never stop influencing my children or even motivating them. So be careful how you live your life. They see you. They watch you. Being a parent is a lifetime chore. It's a lifetime job. I would not trade it for anything. I'm your host, Jerry Hansen. This is Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. We're a frugal homestead tucked high in the Cascade Ranges of the Pacific Northwest. Please stay tuned to more videos. You could do that by subscribing and clicking that bell icon. That alerts you to new videos as I upload them. Give us a thumbs up. Click that share button. Sharing my videos on your social media platforms helps us out. Leave a comment if you will. And remember, be safe. And the key is, always be kind. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.